What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a Q&A. I put this question out on Instagram a couple of days ago and we got some really awesome questions. I'm super excited to answer them for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Question number 1, Tara asks, what do you use to edit your videos? I honestly use Final Cut Pro. I started out using iMovie, which is a free software that you can get on the Mac, but I found that there were a lot of functions and things that I wanted to do, such as transitions and sound effects and stuff like that, that weren't available on iMovie, so I upgraded to Final Cut Pro. I find there's a lot more stuff that you can do with it. It's definitely more advanced, so if you're just starting out and you're looking for a software that'll allow you to edit your videos and just throw something together, then honestly start out with iMovie. It's definitely gonna help develop those fundamentals that you need if you are looking to get into more professional videography or cinematography. So that is where Final Cut Pro may come into play, but if you're just starting out vlogging, I know many famous YouTubers who still just rock it on iMovie. All right, question number 2, Jennifer asks, what was your most awkward situation at the gym and the best? Awkward situation? I have a couple, I guess. First one is probably a typical one for most females, is leggings that are see-through. I got I think it was like a pair of leggings from Costco, and I was doing deadlifts and Kyle was across the gym and he comes over, he's like, yeah, you can see your butt in those things. Instantly stopped doing deadlifts, switched my leg days to upper body days, and I haven't worn those leggings since. But that's a pretty typical one, so make sure, ladies, whenever you're purchasing leggings, make sure you do the squat test. Squat down before you purchase them if you can, and make sure you can't see anything. Another embarrassing story that I have is at my old gym, because it's a little bit older, I was doing wide grip lat pull downs, and I went to switch the weight from a lighter weight to a heavier weight, and I pulled the pin out. As I pulled the pin out, the bar for the lat pull down fell down and hit me right in the head. And there was a bunch of people around the cables, so a lot of people saw. Nobody even asked if I was okay. Like, that thing came down hard and it hurt so much. I swear it felt like it hurt for like a week. That was super embarrassing. So even at the gyms now, I know that they're like weighed down where the bar won't fall down on you. I'll still put my hand on the weights and then take the pin out and then change it from there because I'm like traumatized from that. It hurt. All right, and for my best moments in the gym, I would have to say that is not when I am in a caloric deficit and I'm not dieting down, and I am super strong when I'm in a caloric surplus. I find that especially my deadlifts, I am quite proud of my deadlifts. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys and girls who are able to deadlift 225 pounds no problem, but typically they're a lot bigger than me and their strength to weight ratio is much higher than me, so I'm a pretty small person, and being able to deadlift that much weight, it's the best feeling in the world and it's so empowering. So definitely when I see my strength going up, even squat and bench and overhead press and all of the lifts, but mostly from deadlifts, my strength when it goes up, those are the best moments that I have in the gym. All right, Haley asks, do you know of any safe greens protein for breastfeeding mamas? Firstly, I just want to say that definitely consult with your doctor. Don't take this advice without actually consulting with your doctor and discussing supplements with them first, as everybody is different and you may have some intolerances that I don't know about. So this is just a generic recommendation, but please make sure you consult with your doctor, any mamas out there. From what I have researched, I'm not a mom yet, so I haven't spent too much time in this area researching things, but a lot of moms definitely want to make sure that they are having protein powders that have natural ingredients in there. For your greens, I wouldn't even stress about your greens. Just make sure that you are consuming a good amount of vegetables in your diet, and you're probably okay for not having to supplement your greens. Honestly, I think that they can be a little bit of a waste of money, especially if you were taking a multivitamin already, which I'm pretty sure most moms are. So I wouldn't even waste your money on greens. But if you do like greens because you do struggle to get your vegetables in, then I think Progressive is an all-natural brand. They do have vegan products, so you will see a bunch of natural ingredients in there, no unnecessary additives or anything like that. As far as protein powders are concerned, Progressive has some vegan options as well. You are gonna find that most protein powders that are all natural ingredients are disgusting. I'll be straight up. So many supplement stores will tell you how good they are, but they really really aren't. That's where I would mask in a bunch of your micronutrients with some of the grosser tasting protein powders. Put like 100 grams of spinach into your protein shake. You won't even taste it, and throw in some strawberries and bananas and a bunch of stuff in there to make that taste pretty good. I haven't tried it yet, but I have heard through the grapevine that PES Select's new vegan protein powder actually tastes pretty decent. You can still tell that it's a plant-based protein powder, but I've heard that it tastes 100 times better than most other vegan products out there, especially like Vega and stuff like that. So you can also give that a try, but just first and foremost, just make sure you can consult with your doctor. Hope that answers your question, Haley. All right, next question. Marina asks, your thoughts, ooh, I like this one. Your thoughts on people that cut their water and those who don't for shows. All right, this is a really good question and very controversial. This is something definitely I will continue to talk about more as I get closer to my show. The idea of cutting your water and cutting your sodium on peak week. So firstly, for natural athletes, it's completely not necessary to cut your water. So first, let's just kind of discuss why people cut their water. The idea is that if you cut your water, there'll be less of it under your skin, so it'll create the illusion that you look more shredded. But that's not actually true at all. So your body, it actually stores water inside and outside of the body's cells. This is known as extracellular and intracellular. So the water that is inside the cell is great. That's what makes your muscles look full. So when people are attempting to cut water, they're trying to cut water from the extracellular. They're trying to cut the water from outside of the cell. So when you do cut water, you will lose water from outside of the cell, but you're also gonna lose it from inside of the cell as well. So that's why a lot of competitors look flat when they go up on stage. You hear all the time that they struggle to get a pump. So by cutting water, all you have done is you just flatten that person's physique, and sometimes people look actually extra stringy on stage and they don't look as vascular as you want to when you step up on stage. I've heard from so many competitors that they have struggled to get a pump backstage, but have you ever heard also that a couple of days later, after having their cheat meal, they look so much better, they didn't carb up enough, and that was the issue? It wasn't actually the carbs that filled up their muscles. It wasn't the fact that you didn't carb up enough during your peak week or during show day. It was the replenishment that you got from the water and sodium that actually filled up your muscles post-show, like 2 or 3 days after your show. So to sum up, no, I don't think cutting water is necessary at all. I think it is an old school tactic. I think that there is a bunch of new science out there to clearly demonstrate that it is not necessary. So why put yourself through that unnecessary suffering if it's actually just gonna hurt you later on? I didn't cut my water or sodium at all last year, and my muscles look super full. So I think that for people who don't cut their water, they are definitely setting themselves up for a successful show day. Really good question, Marina. I hope that answers it. If you need any clarification, just comment down below and I will clarify anything for you. Thank you for the question. That was awesome. All right. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Seraphine. Very pretty name anyways, asks, can you build muscle on a cardio machine? I use the elliptical every day on the highest incline and highest resistance, but again, still just low intensity cardio while recovering from an injury. I don't understand why my size is shrinking slowly and consistently, but my weight has gone up and stayed there for months. Okay, so quickly, no, you can't actually build muscle on a cardio machine. Like, I haven't actually looked into the research of it by understanding the process of actually putting on muscle. The idea of it doesn't come into play when you are on the highest resistance on a cardio machine, because if you're still doing the highest resistance every day, what you are lacking is what is known as progressive overload. You need to constantly be overloading the muscle every single week in order for you to allow the muscles to break down, in order for them to grow. So this comes into by actual resistance training, by actually tracking your progress and making sure your resistance is going up every single week. So progressive overload is simply just progressing when you are in the weight room. So this can be by increasing your reps, sets, or load. So typically it is going to be your load, but sometimes that you may find that you are in a plateau and your body needs a deload. So versus increasing the weight when you're not ready for it, you may want to look at either increasing your reps or your sets. And progressive overload never stops. It's accumulative. So by being on the elliptical on the highest resistance, that's great. great, but you've already tapped out. You're already at the highest level of resistance. There's no room to continue progressing from there. So it sucks when you have an injury, and I understand that completely. But if you can, I don't know exactly what your injury is. If you're doing that amount of cardio, I'm gonna assume that your injury is upper body related. So I would honestly try to maybe switch from doing so much cardio and look at doing some mini band work or even just some lower body work and focusing more on progressing in that area versus a bunch of cardio. And in regards to your weight, doing that much cardio, like you said, did you say every day? You said every day. So I'm just assuming 7 days a week at low intensity. And I don't know how long you're doing your cardio. I'm hoping it's no longer than a half an hour, but if you're doing more than that every single day, this is actually potentially reducing your metabolic rate. So the lower your metabolic rate starts to go, the slower weight loss starts to become. So it's actually detrimental to yourself to be doing so much cardio. So this may be why you are seeing the scale start to go up. Your size is probably going down just because you might be losing muscle from doing that much cardio. So if you can, I do recommend maybe trying to come up with a different type of regimen. Even if you do have an injury, there are other options for you in the weight room. Audit some of your exercises to determine which exercise irritate the injury and exercises that don't, and like take a week and just do that and just try to audit and come up with your own program so you can actually do some resistance training, some appropriate resistance training to allow you to kind of work around that injury and reduce your cardio amount. I think that would serve you quite a bit. So yeah, I really hope that helps. And I really hope you have a speedy recovery with your injury. I know what that's like and it sucks, but honor that struggle, girl. All right, last 2 questions. What is your opinion on people who wear toques at the gym? Not if it's legit cold, but like a toque and a stringer. You know what? I actually think that's hot. I think it's a killer look, and I know there are some people out there right now who are trying to design summer beanies so people can actually wear them in the summertime because they are super stylish and stuff like that. So I like it. What are your thoughts? I want to know. Comment down below. And last question, opinion on carb cycling versus traditional constant deficit and a refeed. So and a refeed, since you added that in there, if you have a refeed during the week, you technically are carb cycling, are you not? You have all low carb days except 1 refeed day a week. I know some people who have 2 to 3 refeed days a week. You may even be able to classify those as high carb days as well. So I think that they are both exactly the same. They're just labeled something a little bit differently. And my thoughts on them, I think that it depends on you. Last year I did carb cycling where I would have high carb days and low carb days. I think I had 4 high carb days and then 3 low carb days. And after doing that, I actually didn't like it. I found it very annoying going back and forth tracking like that from day to day. But whereas this year I'm on a linear program where every single day is the same amount of calories for me. My calories are still quite high right now, so eventually I will probably incorporate a refeed day, or even known as a high carb day. And I think that those are really good when your calories start to get low because it acts as a diet break. It's a good psychological break, and it is a good physiological break too for your metabolism as well. So I think that if they are used properly, they can actually be very beneficial for your body and for your mindset, definitely during a prep. So good questions, you guys. Damn, that's it. That was 7 questions, I think. Yeah, awesome, you guys. So thank you so much for your questions. I really like doing Q&As. If you guys have any questions or need any clarifications on any of my answers, please just comment down below and I'd be happy to get back to you. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, you guys, I will see you in the next one.